Hi everybody, it's Neil Walters of Neil's Videos, and I have done a video in a while. I'm sorry about that. I've been working on taxes, late taxes, and other things, and there's just not been a lot of stuff going on with TownStar lately. But one thing I never did until this last week or two was to actually try making honey with the new bees and stuff. And so I thought I'd do a quick video on that because when I started doing it, I got a little confused. I was like, well, how do you find nectar for the bees? And I couldn't figure it out. And of course, I Googled it and nothing showed up in Google for how to get nectar for bees in TownStar. So I thought I'd make this video and hopefully it will help people who have that kind of question and issue. So for making honey, there are basically the four things you need. Okay, so here are the honeycombs or the beehives, or you want to call them beehives, and they can actually make three different products. If I click craft here, you can see you can make honey, honeycombs, and wax. And I didn't actually look to see which one is the most profitable. I just figured for now I'll make the honey. So you could probably look at Dubstep Rod's playbook, and you can look and probably see how much money each of these would make. But I figured for now I'm just going to make honey with all of them. And so to make a honey, it takes three nectar. Right now, I guess I have one out of three. It needs lumber, so you're going to need your lumber mills, and you need a ceramic bowl. Okay, so my question earlier was then how do I get nectar? Okay, and so the bees will collect the nectar themselves. And what you do is you create these little fields here called wild clover, and it says they're growing nectar. Okay. Now, one thing they added recently, they added these things down here, which shows like, I guess, how much these things affect shading and stuff, but I've never actually stopped to figure out exactly what they mean. Like clouds is probably shading, but they're so small, I'm gonna have to look that up and figure out what those things mean. See, there my nectar was, my clover's ready. So to make a clover, of course, you just pick an empty spot, and if you do it by adding like you do a crop kind of, except it's not under crops. It's considered to be terrain. I thought that was a little strange. So clover field is here under terrain. And the other one we're going to need in a minute is a clay field. You need clay to make the pots, okay? So if you just click a clover field like that, I don't really need one now, but I'll do it just to demonstrate for you. It's going to be building that right there. See, it only takes a few seconds, doesn't take any lumber or anything to build it. And now we have another clover field. And see it's green. It's going to take about 50 seconds roughly total before it makes some nectar. Okay, so hopefully it's obvious that you would want your clover fields close to your bees because the bees are going to have to fly. And so you can actually see some of them flying right there right now. They go in that little swarm. It's a little hard to see them, but some of them just went and came back. See, there's some right there, right where my mouse is. I'm pointing at them. And what's kind of hilarious is I read this in the Discord that they actually fly faster on a road. Okay, it doesn't make much sense. But anyway, so if you have a road between your beehives and your clover, the bees will tend to take the road and they will move faster than going over a field. So that's actually kind of hilarious. The next thing you need is these little things, and what are they called again? Called pottery shops, okay? And so in there, you're going to do a craft of a clay pot. And I guess they can create jack-o'-lanterns too. Oh, I never didn't notice that before. It's probably one of their Halloween features, right? And that's where you would need wax, okay? So if you want your bees to make wax, then you could make jack-o'-lanterns. So that'll be another fun thing to try, perhaps. So to make a ceramic bowl, you're going to need energy, a water drum, and a clay lump, or two lumps of clay. So your clay lumps are these things, which are also terrain. And what's I thought was kind of interesting about those, it's your construction workers who actually carry the clay. They'll carry them to your warehouse, like this guy here. See, he's dropping it off in the warehouse now. And then the pottery shops have their own workers, and they're kind of hard. They look like beekeepers, I think. There's one right there. See that little guy? He's carrying a clay pot to the beehive, And then I don't know if he comes back with the honey exactly. Let's see what he does next. Now he just drops the clay pot off. So now let's see that. See, that's now got 50 or 50, about a minute, 60 seconds to run to get the honey. Now he goes back to rest for a little while. And what else we got here? This one's ready. Okay, so that one's ready. So see now another worker. Oh, we have to have these guys too. So these are your worker huts. So these are called beekeeper houses. So that's the other thing you need. Okay. Now see, he's collecting the honey from the hive that finished it, and he's going to put it in not the warehouse though. So there's a new house for these. It's this thing right here. It's called a pantry. So I guess the idea is um, well, I started to say maybe your storehouse is going to be refrigerated stuff, but I think your wool goes into the storehouse too, unless they change that. I actually have this special house now just for wool somewhere on here. The NFT, I guess they gave me. All right here, this is my new little wool storehouse called wool storage. And then I have this little house here. It's a sugar house, a sugar storehouse. So anyway, you build a pantry, and that's where your honey and presumably your wax or those type of items would go. So you're gonna have to build one of those. So I guess there's like 6 things to build: pottery house, the pantry, the beekeeper house, the beehives, the nectar, and the clay. Now let's go back to these things. The pottery shop, the first one, since it needs electricity, the first one I built was right here, where right now I have a fabric plant. But it got red speed over there because it was affected by the pollution. So the good news was it was getting electricity passively from my power plant here. But it just wasn't creating the clay pots fast enough. So I had to basically destroy that and then build them over here. Those things are not super cheap. Let me show you the price. That would be under. It doesn't make sense. Is it a ranch item or is it a farm item? I guess it's a ranch item. No, it's an industrial item. So here's your beekeeper house is 7,500. Your beehives are not cheap. They're 25,000. So they're almost like basically like a sheep pen, similar price. And then if you go to industrial, this is where your pottery house is. Pottery shop is 120,000. Needs 5 lumber, 5 wood, 5 batteries to build that. So originally I just built one over here. Like I said, it was too slow, so I built another one over here, and eventually I built 3 of them. So I think right now I don't know, it's kind of balanced, but I haven't been playing too hard. I've just been logging on and letting it run for a while each day. I'm trying to get my NFT this month. They're giving, I think, a free NFT if you play 10 days in a row. I've probably done that by now. This is my little Tesla coil, which is an NFT. So it's providing clean energy, okay? But I think it only provides one. So the workers are going to have to carry the batteries back and forth. But the other thing about the Tesla coil, it's nice about that, it also makes a battery like every, let's see right here, we'll see in a second. See, it just created a battery. So now the construction worker will come there and take that battery and put it in usually the nearest warehouse. So see, that's why I have 17 energies right there, because this Tesla coil is throwing off the energy batteries. And then these pottery houses will get 1 energy. Let me hit the craft button again. They will get 1 energy direct from the Tesla coil, and then they will get one basically from the 1 battery from the warehouse that the Tesla coil probably made. Okay. So there's the worker coming now to grab the battery from the Tesla coil. And now he's carrying it probably to this warehouse right here, as long as it's not full. It's close to full. All right, what else? One other thing here on the clovers. You can see this clover is ready to be, let's not say harvested, but it's ready for the bees to come do their thing, whereas this clover is still growing. And the way you can tell the difference is how many of those little flowers or whatever. So it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little pink flowers. Anyway, when it's full, you get a lot more little tiny dots in the background, and that tells you that it's ready. Whereas these, see that one right there is just now finished. I don't know. Sorry if that didn't come out in the video, but it just popped up. Let's watch this one. Got about 7 seconds. I've made it a little bigger so you can see it more clearly. Come on, grow, grow. Oh, there it goes. And there it just kind of grew its little flowers. So that's it for how to make honey and the bee related products. The other thing I've done in this city for the first time is use sand mines, the shallow sand mines, and I'll do another quick video on that one separately. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll have to think of some other videos to make for my channel. I just haven't been too motivated to do videos lately, and maybe have some other topics, something besides TownStar for a while. It might be fun for you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.